Welcome, Wednesday afternoon, New School MMA. We're back here. I'm your host, MMA Lockerroom. Got my friends with me, MMA Prediction Guru to my left, and I got my man Brady, DFS by the numbers, right below. How you guys doing tonight?
What's up, man? Ready to get into it. Got a pretty decent card. It's an okay card. I like a few fights on it. Wish it was a little bit better of a card, but if we can make money on it, that's kind of all that matters here. So, yeah, man, let's break this card down.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm excited. Another opportunity to make some money. The card isn't the best, but like you said, there are some fights on here that I'm really intrigued to watch and break down. So let's have another good week and let's make some money.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And it wouldn't be right if I didn't say what's up to the chat. What's up to all my hustlers, gamblers, all my money makers out there just trying to get this money on these bets, and all my cappers out there. I want to give a special shout out to everybody in the chat rocking with us. Hey, but guys, though, before we go into Munoz versus Edgar, what do you guys think about UFC 252? Last week is over. How'd you guys do?
Yeah, man, it was a good card. I had a pretty good night on that card. I made some decent money. I had a couple. I bet on Chito Vera straight. Like I think it was like plus 265, something like that. And then I also had him inside the distance, like plus 435, and I cashed out on both of those. So that was good. I had a bet on Danny Chavez as well that cashed, and then I can't remember a couple other plays. I did have Herbert Burns to win by a submission. I didn't cash on that one, but overall I did pretty good. Yeah.
So it seems like you played the underdogs on that one and cashed up, right?
Yeah. I mean, the two underdogs that I was confident in with Chavez and Chito, they got it done, man. I mean, I see a lot of people like complaining about the Chito win, like it was like a fluke or something. I mean, I don't know. To me, he won the fight. Like he hurt the guy, he kicked the guy's leg, hurt his leg, and won the fight. But yeah, it is what it is, I guess. But
yes, sir. So it was a good night for you. What about you, Brady, down there? What you have, man, for last week?
Yeah, it was a good night. I mean, it was a very tough card. I mean, I feel bad for a lot of people that were going out there and parlaying Herbert Burns, parlaying Sean O'Malley, but I went 3 for 3 on my bets. I was able to hit my three biggest ones. I had a Rosenstruck for 1.5 units. I had Devalsh Philly minus 135 by decision, 2 units on that, and then the Stipe and Cormier fight going over 2.5 rounds, 1.5 units on that. And then I had a 1-unit play on Jim Miller, a 1-unit play on O'Malley and Vera goes to decision. And I took a little sprinkle of Vera in round 3, 2 rounds too early for Vera there. But overall, a profitable night. It's always good when you hit your biggest bets. And yeah, it was a pretty good night.
Hey, man, I could piggyback and ditto off that, man. I mean, it was a wonderful night for me. I mean, out of my picks and plays, I had about 7. I hit 7 out of 11. Out of my fighters, I went 4 for 5. Only lost on DC. My claim to fame, I would say, was taking Vince Pichel. A lot of people took Jim Miller in that one, so I definitely cleaned up on Vince Pichel right there. My biggest prop that I hit was that round 3 started DC versus Stipe, so I loved it that I got to be able to capitalize off that. One play that I had on there right was my underdog value. Mad I didn't play it, though, like Guru did. I did have Chito Rivera on my board as the best underdog value. Just didn't play it, though. So, I mean, it was definitely a successful night for me here, too, as well, man. So, great to hear that everybody's out there making money for us, man. Great to hear.
Yeah, what did you guys think about? What was your guys' favorite fight? I know you guys both were on DC, too, with me, right? So, what did you think about that one?
I couldn't believe it. Like I thought DC would go for more takedowns. He's content with striking with Stipe the whole time. I was really impressed with Stipe. He looked great on the scales. I was kind of hesitant in betting DC, so I'm glad I stayed away. But it was a good fight. I'm really surprised that Stipe won by decision. I thought if he did win, it would be later in the rounds. But props to Stipe. Greatest heavyweight of all time.
Yeah, man. I'll say my best fight on the card. I was a fan of the Rosenstruck fight. Just because that knockout that he pulled out on JDS, that to me was one of the best ones on the card. But the DC and Stipe fight, yeah, man, DC definitely dropped the ball a little bit. It seemed like he just tried to stand out there and box him the whole fight. He went for a couple of takedowns, but it definitely wasn't working. And he got poked in the eye. How you guys feel about that now, man?
Yeah, I mean, it looked like it was a pretty bad eye poke. I think he had like a torn cornea or something, but I don't know, man. I mean, it looked like after that second round when he got hurt like that, it was like he was a step behind. So I kind of thought he was going to lose either way, but yeah, it's sad to see him, lose with like, not an excuse, but just something that happened where it was like, a foul or something, but yeah, I kind of thought Stipe was going to win either way.
Yeah, and then not to get off subject or anything. I mean, so what do you think is next for Stipe? Is it going to be a rematch with Francis, or is it going to be the introduction to John Jones at heavyweight?
Man, I mean, I think it has to be Francis, right? I think even Dana said that, but yeah, it would be cool. I think John Jones seems like he probably will fight. What do you guys think he relinquished his light heavyweight title? That was pretty crazy.
Yeah, that was unexpected. I was very surprised when I heard that. You think he's going to go up to heavyweight? I think that'd be pretty interesting to see there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why else he would relinquish the belt. I don't. It's not like him. Like, why would he want to go back and fight like Reyes again as the challenger if he like wins against Jan? I don't know.
Yeah.
You would think. I mean, but
yeah, it's kind of like he put his stamp on that division. He said he already said right now him and the UFC is working on new contracts for heavyweight. So, I mean, it's either going to be some entertaining fights coming for John Jones because, these last 4 fights, me being a John Jones fan, they were boring. It wasn't the John Jones that I was used to watching about 3 or 4 years ago. So, I mean, now coming up to heavyweight, at least I'm happy that I'm going to see a new John Jones.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, I wonder, I don't think he's going to fight someone else, though. I don't think like he'll go up there and fight someone before he fights for the belt. I mean, you guys think he will? I don't know.
I don't know.
Nah, man. I don't know, man. Who knows? But this is what I do know. We got UFC Fight Night coming up. I'm talking Pedro Munhoz versus Hall of Famer Frankie Edgar. Man, we got 11 fights on this card. Brady, can you tell them some of the fights that we had on this card originally that was canceled? Because I know that we had about 5 banging fights on this card that got canceled.
Yeah, Hill and Watterson was supposed to be on here, right? There was another one that Jared Gooden was supposed to be on here as well. They were able to get Grant a new opponent, and there was like another one on there as well. But yeah, there was a lot more fights on this card. But
yeah, the banger, Yoel Romero versus Uriah Hall was on this card.
Damn, I didn't know that. Yeah, I know OSP was supposed to fight that Russian dude too, but I can't remember his name though.
That's all type of fights that got canceled. So, I mean, we had Maki Pitolo versus Impa. That fight just got put together after Impa won on a Contender Series. That fight got canceled. We had George Gonzalez versus Ike Villanueva. That fight got canceled. Ike Villanueva found a new opponent. We had Matthew Slimmersonberger versus Philip Rowe. That fight got canceled. Matthew got another opponent. I mean, it seems like we had about 6 or 7 fights on here that just got canceled. But, like the show, like the UFC, the show must go on. So how do you guys feel about this fight, man? It seems like we have a lot of people that's fighting on this card that either fought in the Contender Series or the Ultimate Fighter or that's making their debut, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of people. I think there's like, I don't know, like now because there's a couple more people that added like 6 or 7 that are making their debut. So, but yeah, I mean, that's what I was saying earlier. I mean, the card isn't that great, but there's a couple fights that are decent on there.
Yeah, a couple fights I'm interested in. I mean, I think the Rodriguez Sato fight is going to be good. I'm really looking forward to the Hubbard Salecki. It seems like people are split on that one, and of course, Munoz Edgar is going to be a good fight as well. But overall, it's going to be a good card. There are some fights that are kind of questionable. Some fights I'm not too interested in, but overall, I am excited for this card.
All right. So with that being said, folks, what we're going to do, we're going to go over the whole show. We're going to go over the prelims. Then we're going to give you guys our best bet and our best picks for the prelims. And after that, we're going to do a recap and go right on to the main card. So let's get into it. First fight taking place at 135, I believe. We have Mark Strugel versus Timur Valiev. Mark Strugel coming in, making his debut, 18 wins, 2 losses, versus Timur with a record of 16 wins and 2 losses. I mean, a lot of people are familiar with one of these opponents because I believe they're supposed to make their debut against Jamal Emmers 3 weeks ago, but that didn't happen, right?
Yep. Yeah.
So in this fight right here, Guru, to kick it off, go ahead. Tell me a little bit about both fighters and let me know which one you're going to be going with in this fight.
Yeah, I mean, this is they got the line pretty wide. I mean, Timur's minus 525, plus 415 for Striegel. So people definitely think Timur's going to win the fight here. And when you look at Mark Striegel, he's had 19 out of his 20 fights over there in Asia. This is going to be only a second fight in the United States, and the other one was his debut. He lost. So it's been a long time since he came over here and fought. And he's kind of like a celebrity where he's from. Like over there in the Philippines, he was an Olympian. He won, I think, the gold medal at like the Combat Sambo Southeast Asia Games or something. And so he's a grappler, and he has like 14 submissions out of his 18 wins. He's really like muscular, top-heavy guy, and on the feet he's kind of stiff, low volume. He does throw some nice elbows, some kicks, but yeah, I mean, he's definitely trying to get it to the ground, and he has decent takedowns in the clinch, and when he can get on top, he likes side control, that crucifix position. He'll look for submissions from there, and then he'll also take the back and look for subs. So he's decent, but if he can't get it to the ground, I think he's going to be in big trouble. And there's been fights before where he, has put himself in kind of bad positions to get submitted as well. Valiev, I mean, I think he's already in the United States, so he's probably been here for a little bit, but his striking is a little wild. I mean, he kind of leaps in, leaps out. He does have kind of flashy striking, and I think it's a lot better than Striegel, so he doesn't really have to worry too much about it here, but just defend the takedowns, keep it on the feet, and he should win the fight. So, I mean, I'm going to go with Timur Valiev, but I think the line should maybe be a little bit closer. I mean, Striegel isn't a terrible fighter, but
Brady, how you see this fight, and what's the odds that you coming back with right now on Striegel if people did want to take him as an underdog?
Yeah, Valiev is a big minus 525 favorite, and Striegel is plus 415. Watching tape on Striegel, I was actually kind of impressed. I think he has some pretty good wrestling. Just didn't like what I saw from him on the feet. Wouldn't be surprised if he did take down Valiev, actually. But I'm pretty confident Valiev will be able to, get back up, work his way back up. And on the mat, I've seen Striegel make some mistakes, get reversed, and you can't do that against a guy the caliber of Valiev. I think he'll be fine anywhere the fight goes. I think he's better pretty much everywhere. The line is wide, but in my opinion, it is justified. I'm not going to bet it straight or anything, but I think it's a fine parlay piece. So I think Valiev's going to win a decision. He's not really a finisher. He's only finished about 40% of his fights. So I just think he's the better fighter everywhere.
Yeah, I definitely agree, Brady. I mean, Timur is definitely the well-rounded fighter. I mean, he has 5 KOs, 2 subs, 9 decisions, grappler, explosive takedowns. Fight IQ, I give him a B-. Striegel, on the other hand, he has 14 wins by submission. So I think his key to victory is if he can pull up a sub. Maybe if Timur shoots for a wild, explosive takedown, Striegel is going to be the bigger fighter coming in there. He has a Taekwondo background, so he does have a win over who is it, Brady? Karkai France, I believe, in the UFC right now. So you guys can take it as what you want, but right now that line is really off. And what we've been seeing lately is like some of these underdogs are cashing in. So, you guys might want to tune into the weigh-in show on Friday that Mo and Boston Nick does. And, they might have some different opinions after the weigh-in shows because, Striegel could come in and maybe surprise some people. You think?
I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know if I would save Striegel. I mean, at the line, I guess he's live, but I definitely think Timur should definitely win the fight. Like, I just feel like he should be able to keep it on the feet and finish him because Mark is low volume on the feet and he doesn't really set takedowns up with strikes that well. So, I mean, I don't think he's going to be able to take down Timur so easily. So, I wouldn't bet on him even at this line. So, I'm just going to pass on the fight, really.
That's a good pass. Definitely too high to parlay at a minus 560 too, right?
Yeah,
I mean, I wouldn't do it.
All right. So moving on to the next fights taking place at welterweight. 2 new fighters, again, making their UFC debut. Matthew Slimmersonberger with the 6-2 record versus Carlton Minus with the 10-1 record. Brady, can you give us some odds for everybody out there in the chat? And then after that, go ahead and take it away and let us know how you see this fight playing out.
Yeah, so Minus is a minus 125 favorite, and Slimmersonberger is a plus 105 underdog. And the interesting thing about this is Minus opened up as a minus 365 favorite, which is, that's insane. Like, he shouldn't be nowhere near a minus 365. But as for how the fight goes, I don't know. I think it's going to be a close fight. Both of these guys are pretty low level. I do think that Slimmersonberger is going to be able to probably pressure Minus. Minus is someone who kind of, stays on his back foot, tries to pick apart his opponent, and kind of like two different styles on the feet, I noticed. I think Slimmersonberger is going to probably, have the more volume, have more power. I think if someone gets finished in this fight, it's probably Minus. Slimmersonberger has finished 84% of his fights. Slimmersonberger seems like he's a kill or be killed fighter. I think he's went to decision maybe one time in his career. In his 2 losses, he's lost by submission and lost by a knockout as well. But very close fight. I'm going to go with the underdog here to be more active and maybe even get a finish. Just not too impressed with either guy, though.
Got it. So we got Brady on the underdog. Guru, you got in this fight?
Yeah, man. I like this fight. I mean, I think this should be one of the more fun fights on the card, at least. It's going to be a striking fight. I mean, one thing I don't like about Carlton Minus is he's had his whole career over there in Alaska FC besides one fight. And that promotion usually doesn't do very well in the UFC. But Minus, he likes to stay long, like Brady said, throw 1-2s. He does look like he has a good jab, good boxing. And but when he gets pressured, he doesn't like getting pressured. He backs up to the cage. And Rick Story, the only guy that he really fought that's notable in the PFL, was able to, easily back him up. He landed some nice shots, took him down. And Slimmersonberger, he's not going to be looking to take him down or anything. So Carlton's grappling is really questionable. So I guess it's a better matchup for him. It's going to be striking on the feet. But Slimmersonberger, he's like a badass Muay Thai fighter. He's really good. He's powerful inside, real nice elbows, knees, closes the distance really well. And I actually bet on Slimmersonberger at plus 165. I just think it's going to be a striking fight, and I feel like Slimmersonberger is just going to pressure him and knock him out. So I think he's a little bit better striker. I think it's going to be on the feet, and I just like what I see from Slimmersonberger on the inside. I've seen him land some big elbows, get knockouts like that. So yeah, I just went with it. I like the line, and yeah, now it's way down. Now it's like almost a pick 'em. So I like the value that I got there, and hopefully you can get it done.
Yeah, you definitely cashed in on the underdog. I made a play on him at even money. From the tape that I seen coming back on Matthew, I mean, strong physique. Definitely has 4 TKOs. But the one thing that I seen, he's a wild fighter. As far as Carlton, on the other hand, he's more of the technical striker. Carlton, the only person that I've seen in his resume that looked familiar was Justin Buchholz, the former coach for Team Alpha Male. And like you said, that was out there in that Alaska league. And, I don't know how many people who transferred over from there has been successful in the UFC. But in this one, though, if you just look at the two, I mean, I can see why money's coming in on Matthew, and how that line opened up is just ridiculous. Hey, Brady, do you think about is there any good props on here that you see? Maybe a fight not going to distance, over 2.5 rounds?
I actually like the fight doesn't go to decision. It's plus money, plus 125. Like I said, I think Slimmersonberger is one of these kill or be killed fighters. So I can definitely see a scenario where he finishes Minus, or maybe later in the round or later in the fight, Minus finishes him. So I kind of like that fight doesn't go to decision prop. The under 2.5 rounds is plus 160 as well. So I think there's some good value there.
Yeah, man. So next fight of the night is going to be this new fight. It's going to be Ike Villanueva, Jordan Wright. It's an interesting fight. Jordan Wright, he's coming in here real short notice. So I'm not 100% sure what he's been doing, if he's been training, anything like that. But he's kind of a flashy guy. I mean, they call him like the Beverly Hills Ninja. And I'm not really sold on him because if you look at his first 8 fights, the record of the guys that he's fought combined was 1 win, 41 losses, which is just like, that's pretty crazy. And then he did win in his last fight against Gabriel Checho, who's a good black belt. And what he likes to do is he likes to move. throw a lot of like straight punches, try to walk you into like straights, overhands. He attacks a body kick. He has a really nice body kick, and then he'll start throwing it to the body, then go to the head, get head kick knockouts. But I mean, I'm not really sold on Jordan Wright. He did, show some decent grappling, avoiding the submissions against Gabriel in his last fight. But in this one, I mean, when you watch this fight with Aaron Hernandez or Alex Hernandez in that short cage, in the small cage, I mean, when he got walked down, when he got hit with one punch, he just covered up, basically quit. I don't like seeing that. I mean, Ike Villanueva, he's not the greatest fighter, but he's way bigger. I mean, Wright's coming up from 185. He just fought at heavyweight. He's has decent boxing, decent hands, decent counter punching. He gets knockouts. I mean, I think he has 13 knockouts and 16 wins. And, man, I mean, if he walks down and gets in the pocket with Jordan Wright, I only think he needs to land a couple punches and he's going to get the finish. So, I mean, I just got to go with the guy that I think is tougher, more durable, who's had a training camp in this small cage with Jordan Wright. He likes to use a lot of movement, stuff like that. We saw him in the small cage once against Hernandez. He lasted like 30 seconds, got knocked out. So, I mean, I just think Villanueva is going to be able to take the shots from him early, walk him down, back him to the cage and, get a TKO, KO. So I'm going to go with Ike Villanueva here.
Got it. You feeling confident enough to bet it? I know there's no lines out right now because I know it's just a short notice replacement fight. But when it comes out, what do you think the line will be at?
I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know if I would bet on it unless Villanueva's like plus money or something. But I have no idea, really. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what they would line it up.
What about you, Brady? What you got on this fight? Because I know Ike Villanueva was supposed to fight somebody else on here. And the guy that he was supposed to be fighting, I was waiting to see because he was supposed to be fighting about 2 months ago too and didn't make his debut then. But definitely, but the show goes on.
Yeah, this is such a weird fight, pretty low level. Wasn't impressed at all with Villanueva against Chase Sherman. He landed like 20-something strikes in about a round and a half, very low volume. This Jordan Wright guy, I mean, like Guru said, his record's very suspect. I mean, like he's fought like at least 5 or 6 guys with no wins on their record. So that's not a good sign there. But I'm going to go with him. I think that he's going to land more than Wright. If Villanueva comes out there and pressures him and tries to knock him out, gets in the pocket, I do think he probably knocks him out. But if Wright, just stays to the outside, picks him apart, I think he's going to be the faster fighter. He is coming up a weight class to 205. But yeah, I don't know, right? He doesn't look awful. He looked pretty good in his last fight. I'm probably more impressed with Wright than I am with Villanueva. And I was actually going to bet George Gonzalez that was fighting Villanueva as well. So I'm going to stick with going against Villanueva here with Jordan Wright. And there aren't really odds, but I saw one book open it up, and Jordan Wright was like a minus 150 favorite. So I don't know if that's going to hold, but right now Wright is the favorite on that book. But I'm going to go with Wright. I think he's going to probably knock out Villanueva. Villanueva's been knocked out like 3 or 4 times in his career. And a prop I'm really looking forward to when the lines come out is the under 1.5 rounds. And I think Wright's only been out of the first round like 1 time. So that under 1.5, if we can get it plus money or at least close to plus money, I'll probably take a shot on the under.
Dun, 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 dun. Did I hear this right? Oh, we got a disagreement. We got another face-off taking place right now. So we got my boy on the bottom, Brady, DFS by the numbers going with Wright. And we got my boy on the left, MMA Prediction Guru, going with Villanueva. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you guys both 20 seconds to convince the chat on why do you think your fighter should win. And we're going to let the chat mention by whoever's name gets more mentions. That's who would crown the champion. Last week this took place, and I think Brady won. So let's see if he can return his crown. I'm going to start off with Guru. Guru, so in this one, I mean, Villanueva did lose to Chase Sherman in the second round, but you feel confident yet to take him in this fight, and a lot of people think that he's an undersized heavyweight. So go ahead. Tell the people in the chat you got 20 seconds to convince them why your fighter is going to win.
Yeah, I don't want to what's the word? I don't want to I can't remember. I don't want to say that you were wrong, but I actually won last week against Brady. But man, Jordan Wright and Ike Villanueva. I mean, I just can't pick a guy. Like when you watch Jordan Wright's fights, like I said, he's fought all these low-level guys. And the one time he got hit against Hernandez, he just quit. I mean, he just showed up against the cage and gave up. I mean, at least Ike Villanueva is a tough guy. He's going to fight for your money. I mean, I can't bet on a guy that if he potentially gets hit one time, he's just going to give up and shell up and not fight. So, I mean, Ike fought last time at heavyweight. He's going down to light heavyweight. This dude's coming up from 185. I'm going to go with Ike here.
All right, time. All right, let's be precise. You know, DFS, he's by the numbers. He's by the stats. So let's go ahead and hit him when it hurts. Is Wright going to be the right fighter in here? Take it away.
I mean, I think so. I think he's going to be the faster fighter in there as long as he's able to stick to the outside. He does have some power as well. You know, honestly, not overly confident in it whatsoever, but just seeing Villanueva, he's 36 years old, coming down the weight. He looked awful in his last fight. I just really can't pick him. But honestly, this is going to be a close fight. If Villanueva comes out here trying to pressure him, throws lots of volume, I think he wins, but I just don't see that happening. I see the Beverly Hills Ninja, you know, getting it done in round one.
There we go. People in the chat, just by a few mentions, let us know who won. Just say Brady or Guru. Let's go. Let's count them up real quick. I'm going to give you guys 5 seconds. Everybody in the chat, I see you. We got Tank Abbott. We got DMP. We got Proud Henny Boy. Gabriel killing them. I see you. Let's keep these chats coming in. Okay, rocking with Guru. We got 2 for Guru. Brady got robbed. Guru had twice as many seconds. Oh, okay. Might take that in consideration. Okay. Brady. Okay. We're going to let this go for about 5 more seconds. So far, it's 2-1 Guru.
The right play is the under, I think.
The right play is the under. We're going to leave it at that, folks. The right play is the under in here. So definitely, folks. Yeah, I mean, heavyweight fight, anything can happen. I mean, in this one, though, I kind of do like Wright myself. I mean, when it comes to it, he has 10 wins. Well diverse. 5 by KO, 5 by sub. LFA vet, you know, he's going to be the taller fighter, 6'2". He should have the better fighter IQ coming out of Jackson Wink MMA. On the other hand, you do have Ike over there. You know, I think he's undersized for a heavyweight. He has good boxing. Definitely has KO power, 13 KOs in his record. But I got to go with Wright in this one a little bit, man. I'm waiting to see what those odds are going to be like. And I think I could get him my probably plus money. Because, you know, on a short notice fight like this, you know, they're probably going to money's going to come in on Ike. So, you know, I'm definitely going to be looking to probably see what I can do with Wright on this fight.
Bro, I would not bet on Jordan Wright, man. But
don't bet a side on this fight. It's a really low level fight.
I don't like Villanueva. That's the thing. When I see him fight against Chase Sherman, oh, that was fade material, 101. After I seen him fight against Chase Sherman, I don't know what you guys seen in that fight, but that was fade material. Chase
Sherman is like a 250-pound guy, though. I mean, this dude is a small dude. He's a 185er. I mean, it's not going to be the same fight. He was getting pushed back by Chase Sherman, man. Chase was walking him down. I mean, I don't think Jordan's going to be running away the whole fight. I mean, if he wins or if he loses, he's going to be running away. So, but
yeah, I'm gonna look to the weigh-ins on this, but definitely, like I said, if it's big money coming in on Ike Villanueva, if I could get a shot at Wright at great underdog money on there, I would definitely look at that and sprinkle some little coffee money on that, you know, if the price is right. But, you know, anything's possible in these fights. Anything's possible. So we're moving right on down to the card. So the next fight that we got, taking place at welterweight, Dwight Grant coming in, 10-2 record versus Callan Bourne making his UFC debut with a 7-1 record. Dwight Grant was supposed to be fighting somebody else, but I believe that fight got pulled. Guru, was it Jared Gooden?
Yeah, it was versus Jared Gooden. He was going to fight Jared Gooden. Now he's fighting Callan Bourne.
Caleb Bourne. So how do you guys see this fight taking place? A little bit on Dwight Grant. I mean, he's not really a high-volume striker. He trains at AKA, so his fighter IQ, I would give it to him, you know, a little bit higher. I would grade it at a C+. Averages 2.8 strikes per minute, 78% takedown defense. Brady, I know you're a guy by the numbers, so go ahead, take it away, and let them know how you see this fight playing out.
Yeah, so this fight was just added today, so haven't been able to get into as much tape as I'd like. But from what I see, you know, Bourne, I believe he has a BJJ black belt. The 3 fights that I watched, they were all quick finishes, so couldn't really dive into that. I still got to watch his loss and a couple more fights of him. But I think Grant's probably going to be the favorite in this fight. Grant hits very hard. It looks like Bourne has some power himself, but honestly wasn't too impressed with what I saw with Bourne on the feet. And I think if Grant keeps his standing, he's probably going to win by knockout. Grant hits extremely hard. Just getting into some of the stats here, Grant has finished 70% of his wins by knockout. Bourne has finished 57% of his wins by submission. I don't know. It's a weird fight. Really curious to see what the odds open up at, but I'm assuming Grant's going to be a favorite. I'm assuming he's going to come in here and get a knockout, but probably won't bet it because I think he'll probably be, too wide of a favorite. But Bourne doesn't look awful. I just think Grant's the more tested fighter, has a couple fights in the UFC. Bourne doesn't look like he fought the best competition as well. So give me Dwight Grant. Give me him by knockout.
Nice. Guru, I seen you was watching some tape on Grant, and I know you was watching some tape on Bourne too. So how do you see this fight playing out?
Yeah, I mean, from what I saw from Caleb Bourne, I wasn't super impressed. He's fought a lot of low-level fighters, guys with like 2-3 records, 4-3. He did beat Cassius Kane, who's a decent regional scene guy, but I did watch that fight, and Kane, the day before at the weigh-ins, he like missed weight. He was cramping, and it was like a big thing. He almost didn't fight, and then he completely gassed out in the fight. And Kalen Bourne was gassed out too, and he was like mounted on Clay, just laying on him for the whole third round. It was a real sloppy fight. And then in his next fight in LFA, when he fought Austin Jones, I watched that fight too. And Jones is like a good wrestler, and he was just taking Kalen Bourne down, controlling him. And then Bourne just got exhausted in the second round, man. He had no cardio. The guy was just dominating him from there on. And he's like a shoot box guy, and he likes to come forward, high guard, take damage, and try to throw these big looping shots. He kind of has like a weird reach. Like he has like a long reach for his height. So he can hit guys kind of from long range and throws like a low calf kick. But when he gets tired, his hands come completely down. His striking really isn't that good overall. He tries to get takedowns wrestling, but I just think Grant is way more athletic, and he's going to get a knockout. So, I mean, I got Grant by knockout. I don't know what the odds are going to be, but, I mean, I think he'll be a big favorite. I mean, all of this dude's wins are in the first round besides one. So, I just don't think he has the cardio either if it goes past the first round. Yeah, so what do you think, Brady? I mean, you like any bets for this fight? Like, would you bet on Grant, like, by inside the distance potentially if it was, like, a close line?
I mean, it's kind of hard to trust a guy like Grant. I mean, he's so low output. So, honestly, probably going to stay away. I'm assuming the line on Grant's going to be probably too wide. So, probably no bet for me. I probably wouldn't even bet the under 1.5 because if Grant comes out here, throwing, very little strikes, maybe he's able to survive. But probably going to pass for sure.
Yeah, and then with this next one, a lot of people are talking about this fight. Austin Hubbard, Joe Salecki. What do you think about this one?
Yeah, I see Hubbard's a very popular underdog. I see a lot of people betting him. Man, going into tape, I thought I was going to bet on Austin Hubbard, but I was honestly so impressed with what I saw from Joe Salecki. I mean, very good takedowns. He has very good BJJ. On the ground, he's very slick. He's able to, get these advances very easily, take the back. And I don't know, I was very impressed with him. And, watching back Hubbard, I mean, he gets taken down in pretty much every time somebody wants to take him down. He's a 40% takedown defense. Ramos was able to take him down 3 times, pass guard 3 times. Madsen was able to take him down 8 times. I know Madsen's an Olympic wrestler, but he was able to pass 3 times. And then, Max Roskopf took him down twice, was able to pass 2 times. And I don't know. I think that, Salecki wants to come out here and take him down, and I think that's the right game plan. I think he's going to get him down a couple times. Some concerns I have is Salecki going to be able to push that pace for all 3 rounds? And my lean is I think he can do it at least 2 out of the 3. I think the 3rd round can get a little dicey there. But Hubbard, I have a lot of respect for him. I actually really like Hubbard. I think he's extremely tough. He's been improving his ground game a lot. He was able to survive on the mat with Dabi Hamosh. So I don't necessarily see Salecki submitting him here, but I can see Salecki come out here and getting takedowns, getting some top control, maybe even taking the back. But Hubbard is a pretty popular underdog. I think the value is on Hubbard because I feel like this can come down to the 2nd round and who wins that 2nd round. I think Salecki's going to win the 1st. I think Hubbard's probably going to win that 3rd, but So I think you are getting some value if you do bet Hubbard at plus money, but I'm going to go with Salecki. I think he's going to win a decision and maybe even get a submission, but Hubbard has some pretty good BJJ defense.
Yeah, I'm actually going to disagree. I know, like you said, he's a popular pick, and I'm going to be on him as well just because I've seen Joe Salecki. Like, I watched his last fight, right, where he fought Matt Wyman. I mean, that guy, he shouldn't be fighting anymore, man. I mean, he was standing completely square. He was getting taken down so easily and just showed nothing really to me. And Joe Salecki, like, I just don't like his striking, man. The way that he strikes, it's like he throws these hooks and his chin is straight up in the air. He's just circling away a lot of the time on the feet. He doesn't really throw much volume in, and it's like, I don't know. I don't think he's going to be able to just get takedowns so easily like he has on these lower level guys and on Matt Wyman, on Austin Hubbard, man. I mean, the guys that you were naming that were taking him down, I mean, those guys are like elite level wrestlers, like Olympic level wrestlers, world-class jiu-jitsu guys that are like super athletic freaks. And then Max Roshkoff, he's like a real good All-American wrestler, black belt jiu-jitsu. So those guys to me are a little bit higher level than Salecki is in terms of just pure grappling. And Hubbard, I mean, on the feet is just so much more dangerous, man. I mean, we saw in his last fight, he had good get-ups. He had good submission defense. He was making him pay with knees for the takedowns. And I just feel like he's just going to get a knockout here, man. I think that he's going to either land a big knee or a big uppercut up the middle and knock him out. I don't know. I don't think Salecki will finish him on the ground because he couldn't finish Matt Wyman. And, yeah, I just think that Hubbard will get it done, man. I think he has better cardio, too.
Did you bet it?
Yeah, man, on this one, man, Guru, I actually changed my pick a little bit. You know, beginning the week I was going with Joe, but then I actually started watching a little bit more tape on Austin. And, you know, I like what I've seen. You know, he averages 3.5 significant strikes per minute. Takedown defense is at a great 50%. I know my money DFS loves those numbers right there. Fight IQ, I give him a definitely B+. He knows how to, you know, definitely fight throughout the 15 minutes. His mind's not going to be gone as the fight goes on. Both of his wins, you know, in the UFC came by decision. The other one came by the guy quitting. We all know the story about that. But, yeah, in this one, actually, I'm looking to see how Austin Hubbard's going to look on the weigh-ins. You know, Joe Salecki on the other side, coming from the Contender Series, he did have a good win on there, but he only has 1 KO, 6 submissions. He's definitely trying to get this mat to the ground. Averages 4.0 takedowns per round. That's just ridiculous right there. He's an orthodox striker. He's not a slouch on his feet either. He averages about 3.6 significant strikes per minute as well. I actually think this is going to be one of the better fights on the card. What do you think, Brady?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good fight. I think it's going to be really close. Honestly, it probably should be lined closer towards a pick'em. It's going to be, you know, who can implement their game plan. Can Hubbard stuff the takedowns, get up, you know, survive on the mat, and then, you know, take over in the later rounds? Because I do think Hubbard's a better striker. So it's really going to be up to who can implement their game plan first. So it probably should be closer to a pick'em. So like I said, like if you're taking a shot on Hubbard at plus odds, I think you're getting some value. Hubbard seems like he's someone who always gets underrated by the odds makers. So it's gonna be a great fight, though.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Is anybody thinking about betting this?
Yeah, I put a bet in on Hubbard at plus 120 already, so I have a play on him right now.
Pretty nice, pretty nice. What about any props out there? Because what do you think about any props out there, Brady? Do you think anything that you can cash in? Because, I mean, you've been hot within the last 2 weeks. And how do you see this fight maybe playing out on DraftKings? Is there any real value on any of these fighters on DraftKings?
I mean, yeah, in a way. I mean, some of the I wanted to take a look at the fight goes to decision. I don't think either of these guys are going to finish. If there is a finish, it's probably Hubbard in that third round. So maybe Hubbard in the third round. You probably get insane odds on that. But I don't know. I was going to look at the fight goes to decision, but it's like minus 270. So the odds makers are all over it. If you think that Hubbard's going to finish, fight doesn't go to decision, plus 190. But overall, I'm probably going to stay away. I do think the value is on Hubbard. If the line closes up enough to where maybe it is a pick'em or maybe Hubbard becomes the favorite, which I don't see that happening. But if that happens, I will probably take a shot on Salecki. But overall, I'm probably going to pass here. And as for DraftKings, you know, Salecki does have that takedown upside. He averages like 4 takedowns per 15 minutes. So if, you know, Salecki's able to implement that game plan, I think he could be a good DraftKings play. But other than that, just not a fight I'm too interested in from a betting perspective or a DraftKings perspective.
Got it. I'm sorry, guys. I mean, we've been on the air for a minute now. I mean, hey, Brady, can you shout out some people in this chat out there? And I see you great picks. Yeah, we definitely will go over something like that at the end of the fight. But let's give some people some love in this chat, man. You guys been rocking with us. We got 164 people in there right now. We got basketball on. We got baseball on. We got hockey on. But it's a Wednesday night, and you're right here with us on Odds HQ breaking down the fights. Brady, give them some love.
Yeah, thanks, guys, for hanging out. We got Sosa, we got Brian, we got Death Taxes and MMA. We got the Hitman. We got Just Bleed MMA. We have Big Show. We have Chief Sosa. We have Tank. We have BCR. Saw Boston Nick in here a little bit ago. Shout out to all you guys hanging out tonight.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Moving on along. All right, so this next fight coming up, it's a women's fight. First women's fight on the card. Taking place at 115 pounds. We got Mizuku Inoue coming with the record of 14-5 versus Amanda Lemos with the record of 7-1. Mizuku inside the UFC so far made her debut. She's 1-0, 26 years old, 9 wins by sub. She averages 6.20 significant strikes per minute with 100% takedown defense. She took Werner Jandiroba to a split decision loss in Invicta. She won her UFC debut against Yanin Wu, I believe. She's also a former cute boxer background. She has a karate, all in her experience. Go ahead and take this away, Guru, and tell us a little bit more about Mizuku.
Yeah, I like this fight, actually. I like both girls, and it's actually Mizuki Inoue's birthday today, so happy birthday to Mizuki. Turned 26 today. But yeah, man.
Happy birthday to you.
But yeah, man, this is a good fight. I mean, we got two kind of different types of fighters. Last fight, Amanda Lemos came back. She was a big underdog coming off that USADA suspension. And I actually bet on her in that fight when she fought Miranda Granger. She got a first-round submission, got her out of there. And that's kind of been her MO throughout her career. That's what Lemos does. She goes out there. She gets first-round finishes. I think all but one of her wins are finishes in the first round, and she's 1-2 when fights go past round 1. So she's a gasser, but she has big power in the right hand, big power in the straight right, real nice low kicks also, and definitely is a good striker, man. But I mean, she has good grappling as well. She showed it off in her last fight. In the clinch, she can get takedowns. She hit that rear naked choke with no hooks in her last fight. But Mizuki Inoue, I mean, I feel like she's a little underrated because I don't know how that last fight when she fought that other Asian girl, I don't know how that was a split decision, man. I mean, I thought she won easily. I thought she won every round. And you could definitely tell her striking is getting a lot better, especially her boxing with Ray Longo, because she was slipping and ripping. She was doing a great job with their defense, man, with their feints. And Mizuki is the complete opposite type of fighter. She doesn't necessarily have that power, that explosiveness that Lemos has, but she's been fighting since she was 16. She's fought a lot of high-level girls like, Karolina Kovacevic, Alexa Grasso, Jandiroba. I mean, she's fought a lot of girls that are, top 15 level, and she doesn't ever slow down. She has great composure. I don't think she's going to, get like fidgety, because these girls get they lose composure when Lemos has a lot of power. I don't think that Mizuki is going to do that, man. Mizuki is going to, be able to.
You think a lot of women fighters get rattled in the cage?
Yeah, exactly. And Mizuki is just complete opposite, like complete composure. And her cardio is really good, man. And she has real good forward pressure, good boxing. And on the ground, she's really good as well. I mean, we've seen her with Verna Jandiroba. She was able to control Jandiroba in her guard. She swept Jandiroba, got on top at one point. She has 9 submissions. So, I mean, if it gets to the ground, I definitely think Mizuki will be a lot better. I'm going to take Mizuki here. I did pick Lemos last time, but I just think that Mizuki will be able to survive that first round, keep walking her down, and I think Lemos is going to get tired, man. I think Mizuki is going to make her miss and, end up just outboxing her, out-voluming her, and getting a win.
Got it. So, Guru, so if you took Lemos in her last fight, and she was a major underdog against Granger, and then now you're hopping on Mizuki, so, I mean, it should definitely say you're feeling pretty confident in this fight, right?
I mean, I do think Mizuki will win just from watching the tape. I feel like she's going to win the fight. I like both these girls, though. I mean, I do think they could both maybe even be like around the top 15, but I just think Mizuki's style, like the forward pressure, the composure that she has is a bad matchup for Lemos, man. I mean, she's going to get inside and get her tired, I think.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, the reason why I emphasized on that a little bit is because I have a play on Mizuki. I got her at a -140. I liked what I seen from her on tape. So go ahead, bro. Take it away on this fight. And it's women's MMA. Anything can happen. I mean, go ahead. Let us know how you see this one playing out.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Guru broke it down perfectly. Like, I was very impressed with Inoue. I think she's a very good striker. And the thing that really gets me here is the cardio advantage of Mizuki here. Lemos, she's like Guru said, she's only been out of the first round a couple times, and when she did, she looked pretty, awful against Leslie Smith. She was finished on the feet, just not a good look. If it hits the ground, Mizuki does have a great submission. Like Guru said, she went to a split decision with Gina Jandiroba. We just saw what she did, but I think she's a really good fighter. The thing is, Lemos is a very dangerous fighter. She's finished 100% of her fights. So I don't know. I feel like, the fight doesn't go to decision could be an interesting prop at plus money here, because what if Lemos doesn't get Mizuki out of there in the first round? Is she going to gas out in those later rounds? And I don't know. I see a lot of love for Lemos, and I can understand why. She looked very good in her last fight, but I'm just really impressed with Mizuki. And I think that, Mizuki might lose that first round with Lemos coming out hot. But after that first round, I think Mizuki can definitely take over in round 2 or 3. She is very, very durable. I don't think she's ever been finished. And I just see her taking this decision win. In Mizuki's, 4 losses, she's never been finished. Lemos has been finished once by knockout. But I'm going to go Mizuki by decision. I might bet it. I think a lot more money is going to come in on Lemos. I think that's, the public is all over Lemos this week. So another fight where I am kind of going against the public. But I just think Mizuki's the better fighter here.
I agree. And with the comment out there, yes, it is women's MMA. And see, anything can happen. But see, I have a different take on women's MMA. To me, I think women's MMA is about 70% more predictable than actual men's fight, because 70% of the time, the better fighter is just going to win. But so for me, I actually target fights on here. So, I mean, when it comes to it, I like everything that you guys are saying because, like I said, I already got to play on Mizuki. She has the way better resume. She has fights over Alexa Grasso, Carolina, Verna Jandiroba. So, I mean, definitely. I'm definitely feeling confident in my pick at a -140 on this one. And if I lose, I'll lose. If not, I definitely didn't get her at a high number because she dropped on my book at a -170. Money started coming in on the other fighter, and I got her at the right price tag. So I'm loving everything you guys are hearing out there, and I'm not one of those guys that say, oh, this is women's MMA. I'm going to be honest. I love watching women's MMA. I mean, it's women fighting. What more do you want? So I'm a fan of women's MMA. You're not going to find me bashing these ladies at any time or anything like that. More props to you. Hey, what about in this fight right here? Any good props that you guys can see that maybe the people in the chat can cash in? Because I know my boy Boston Nick, he has his little props that come out, the Loch Ness Monster, to where he has some good props, maybe not going the distance or winning by decision. And I know, Brady, you already said that you're thinking about playing her by decision. So what do you think about any other odds this fight not going the distance or going the distance?
I think that there's some value that fight doesn't go to decision. It's +150. I don't think Lemos has ever been to decision, win or loss. I think she's won all of her fights by finish. And the one fight that she did lose, I think it was by finish as well by Leslie Smith. So I think, fight doesn't go to decision, +150 could be a sneaky bet there. I know it's women's MMA. They typically don't finish, but if Lemos comes out here and gasses out after the first round, maybe she does finish her. But other than that, Mizuki by decision is something that interests me. +125, not the best line there. So probably just going to take a look at that fight doesn't go to decision prop, or even my under 2.5 rounds at +180. I think those are pretty sneaky bets there.
And are any of these girls live on DraftKings? And what's their number like? Because I remember you tell me, certain fighters come out at like an 8,000 mark. What's Mizuki at right now?
I don't have the salaries up with me, but I think Mizuki's like 8,600, something like that. I think Lemos is like 7,600. I I think it's going to be a sneaky fight to target in DraftKings. I think it's going to be low owned, and maybe it does finish. I think that if Lemos wins, maybe it's inside the distance. She's finished 100% of her fights by finish. So, Lemos as a underdog is interesting. And, same thing with Mizuki. She lands quite a bit of strikes, and maybe Lemos gasses out and she'll be able to take over in the second and third round, get some volume, maybe even get a late finish as well. So I actually like both sides of this fight on DraftKings.
Got it. So, I mean, hey, look, that's crazy right there. That's the main fight of the prelim. Do you guys think that should be the main fight of the prelim? Because after this, we're going to do a recap on the prelim, give you guys our best bet on the prelim, do a recap of every fighter that we picked on it. But do you guys think that's the fight that they should have put to headline the prelims?
I mean, I think maybe they could have put like Salecki versus Hubbard, but I don't think it's the worst fight in the world to put there. It's not like there's like many guys that are high level besides that. Like I think all the other fights besides Hubbard and Salecki have one debuting guy. So
yeah, I agree. That could have definitely made the main one Hubbard, versus Salecki instead of this one. But so let's go through prelims real quick. Guru, can you go through the 6 fights that we got on the prelims and give everybody a recap on who we're taking?
Yeah, so I picked Timur Valiev, Slimmersonberger, Ike Villanueva, Dwight Grant, Hubbard, and Mizuki Inoue.
Got it. And I believe, Brady, you was only in disagreement on one of those fighters, right?
I had Valiev, I had Slimmersonberger, I had Jordan Wright, Dwight Grant, Joe Salecki, and Mizuki. So 2 of them disagreed on.
Got it. I want to give a special shout out to everybody rocking with us on this Wednesday night. We got 162 people in there. We're trying to get to that 200 mark. But please, if you guys are in there, hit that like button, please. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys. And we need those likes to be all the way up right now. So we got 160 people in there. Let's try to get those likes to match up the numbers at the end of the night. Moving on to the main event, folks. The main event. Now, I mean, this is something to get excited about, right? I mean, welterweight fight taking place. I'm talking about Takashi Sato coming in with the 16-3 record versus Daniel Rodriguez with the record of 12-1. Takashi Sato got 2 wins inside the UFC. Daniel Rodriguez, same thing, 2 wins inside the UFC. Daniel Rodriguez, we all know, made his debut on the Contender Series. Definitely a big fan of this guy. He's coming from the local scene that I'm from, the LA area. He's a volume striker, nice boxing, uses a lot of combos. Only loss that he has is a split decision, and I believe that was to Victor Reina. So a lot of people think that fight could have went either way. He's coming in the taller fighter, 6'1". Takashi Sato, on the other hand, I mean, this guy is definitely a good fighter. 11 TKOs, 2 subs, 3 decisions, wins over Ben Saunders, lost to Bilal Muhammad. Definitely nothing to hold your head down. Bilal Muhammad is definitely one of the top prospects I see in the UFC. He's coming in a little bit the smaller fighter, 5'10". I believe he has that one explosive power that can definitely knock Daniel Rodriguez out if he can connect with the chin. But in this one, Brady, can you give the people some odds and then take it away from here and let the people know who you got in this fight?
Yeah, so Rodriguez is -185 and Sato is +160. And, pre-tape, I was coming in here thinking that I was, going to bet on Sato. I thought the line was way off, but after looking into it, just not all that impressed with Sato whatsoever. He gets hurt and rocked in a lot of fights. He was even rocked by Ben Saunders, which is a huge red flag. Sato has been finished twice. I think the more durable fighter is Rodriguez. He's never been finished in 13 fights. And, watching tape on Rodriguez, I really like this guy. He's a BJJ black belt, throws tons and tons of volume. He is there to be hit, and that's concerning in this fight because Sato does hit really hard. But I don't know. I think that if, Rodriguez's chin holds up, I think he's going to either cruise his way to a decision or even hurt Sato and knock him out. But yeah, I really like this Daniel Rodriguez guy. He's a very good fighter. He's lost once by split decision. And I'm going to pick him to win here. I'm not going to bet it. I think that line is probably off, -185. A little crazy there. I think it should be closer to a pick 'em. So if you are taking a shot on Sato, I mean, you're getting value there. But overall, I just like Rodriguez. If his chin holds up, he's probably going to win this fight.
Yes, sir. So I believe on that line too, he opened up at a -135. money started coming in on him. So now he got all the way up to a minus 185. Would you feel more confident betting him at a minus 135 compared to a 180?
Yeah, if he was anything like under like minus 150, I'd probably take a shot here. But minus 185, there's no way.
But so you definitely got Daniel Rodriguez, D-Rod, the man from LA in here to get the win tonight, right?
Yeah, but it is kind of a dangerous fight because Sato's a very, very dangerous guy. But if his chin holds up, like I said, I think he wins.
Got it. So with that being said, I'm gonna hand the show over to Guru right here. And how do you see this fight playing out? And who do you got?
Yeah, I like both fighters here. I mean, D-Rod, he's, like you guys said, he's forward pressure, throws a lot of volume, like punches and bunches inside. He's pretty good boxer, but I would say he's kind of a slower guy, especially for that division. He was getting hit a lot in his last fight when he fought Gabe Green, and he's a little bit weak to the body as well. I mean, you've seen him get hurt to the body in multiple fights. He's a little bit soft, one of those guys that doesn't really look very ripped in there. And Daniel, I mean, he also is a black belt in jiu-jitsu and has decent level changes, and he's a strong guy. He can control guys against the cage. I kind of think that's what he's going to try to do here. I don't know if he's going to want to strike with Sato, man, because, I mean, Sato, like he said, he gets hurt in a lot of fights, so maybe you could say he's a little bit chinny, but he recovers, and he's only been finished by strikes one time. Obviously, D-Rod's more durable. He's never been finished, but, man, I mean, I feel like he's hittable, and Sato's real fast in and out. He's a southpaw, one-punch power, real good pull counters. And I just feel like he might be able to knock out D-Rod, man, early in the first round. He has 9 first-round knockouts. I don't think he's going to be able to take down Sato, man, because Sato is a black belt in judo. He was really giving Bilal Muhammad a lot of trouble on the feet, and Bilal was having some trouble taking him down too. So I don't know. I mean, Rodriguez could win, but I think in the small cage it's going to help him too because he's going to be able to, get in close, maul a little more. But I'm actually going to go – I think Sato is going to get a first-round knockout here. So I bet I'm at plus 160 because I just think that the line is off. So I'm going to pick him here to get the win.
Got it. Hey, chat, here we go again. We got another good old face-off brought to you by Odds right here. I'm talking about a good old prediction face-off. I'm talking about Brady DFS versus Guru. Once again, you guys, want to give you guys 20 seconds. I want details. I want facts on why do you think Sato's going to win, and I want details and facts on why do you think D-Rod's going to win. But I'm not going to judge it. We're going to let everybody in the chat. So everybody in the chat, I'm talking about Rel, Tank Abbott, Just Bleed MMA, John, Jacksonville Zoe. I'm talking about Big Show Picks, Rick Ramon, Razor Ramon, let's go, Cameron, everybody in the chat. I need you guys to vote on this. So we're gonna start a little different. I let Brady kick it off, so I'm gonna let Guru kick it off on this one. And go ahead. You got 20 seconds to tell everybody in the chat why you think Sato should win.
Yeah, I mean, this is a close one, man. I mean, it's gonna be good, but I just feel like Rodriguez, he's the slower guy. I think it's gonna be on the feet because I don't think he's gonna be able to take him down. And I just think Sato early on is really live to get a knockout. I really think that he's better with the in and out movement. The fight that he had with Victor Reina was against a southpaw. He lost that fight, so I'm just gonna go with Sato, man.
Okay. You gave me about 4 reasons, Definitely, you're going with the first round TKO. So if I take it, if it gets out the second round, this is all D-Rod. So let's go, Brady. I'm going to give you 20 seconds. Let's give everybody in the chat. Go ahead. Take it away.
Yeah, I mean, Sato was rocked by Ben Saunders. I've seen him rocked in plenty of fights. He's been knocked out. And Rodriguez is tough as nails. I mean, when we're talking durability, it's Rodriguez all day. He's going to bring the more volume. Yeah, Sato could land a shot, but, I definitely have some faith in Rodriguez and how tough he is, and I think he's going to win a decision and maybe even a late stoppage for Rodriguez.
Got it. Okay, he didn't even need the whole 20 seconds. So we're just going to leave the voting open for 10 seconds right here. I believe Guru's ahead as of last week. So let me get the correction on that. Guru won last week. Right now, it looks like we got Brady who won the first one. People in the chat, let's get active. You got 10 seconds. Who's going to win on that one? You got Brady or you got DFS in that breakdown? Okay, we got one for Brady. We got a big show with Brady. Let's get live in the chat, people. Type away. Let's see those fingers. We got Brady right here. Okay. We got 2 for Brady. Okay. 3 for Brady. Okay. One for Guru. Okay, I'm gonna leave it open for about 5 more seconds. DFS. I think that's Brady. Guru. Okay. 2 more seconds. Let your Twitter fingers be known. Come on now. Brady. Okay. All right, and we're gonna stop right there. So let me just scroll up a little bit, man. And in the meantime, let's get some shot to odds. Hey, Guru, can you tell everybody where they can check you out when you're not on Odds HQ?
Yeah, man. MMA Prediction Guru. You could find me there at on YouTube. Check it out. I always do full card predictions usually on Mondays, and I'll do predictions for some other fight cards as well. So yeah, check that out for sure.
And what about you, DFS? Can you let them know where they can check you out when you're not on Odds HQ?
Yeah, you guys can follow my YouTube channel, DFS by the Numbers. I'm also on Twitter, DFS by the Numbers. My breakdown will be out sometime early in the morning. Kind of got thrown off guard with a brand new fight today, so I had to take kind of an extra day to do some more research. So all my content will be out tomorrow if you guys want to check that out.
Got it. Now, that gave me enough time to do a recap on the count. The votes is in 8-6. Your man Brady took this one on this round, folks. So right now we got 1-1 on this fight card. We got Guru winning last week, and then we got Brady winning so far both fights on this week. So let's keep it going. So if you guys are listening right, Brady's the man tonight. All right, so on to this next fight. We got another women's fight, but I'm gonna let my boy Guru introduce this one just because he's a big fan of one of these girls. I think I know who. But go ahead, introduce this fight. And
yeah, man. I mean, I've always even before she went on the Contender Series, I just watched Maria Agapova's fights, and I always thought, she was just like, she leapt off the screen. She was someone that was, fun to watch. Like, you could see that. I feel like if she got in the UFC like she is now, got some momentum, she could be someone that they would push, and you can kind of see it. They already are. Like, she got an interview with Brett Okamoto today where they were talking to her, and she's on the main card. And it's like she called out Sheena Dobson on the mic. They gave her the fight. So definitely feel like they wanted to win this fight. And she's a finisher, man. And she's wild. I mean, like, the chick's fucking painting pictures with her own blood, stuff like that. Like, she's in the cage, like, complete composure.
Wait, Guru. The people out there, sometimes they just listen. They don't really know what we say. What do you mean by she paints pictures with her own blood? Please go into detail, because if I heard right, you interviewed her, so you know all about her life. So go ahead, explain it right. He said yes.
Nah, yeah, she does. She'll literally like cut her wrists or cut herself open and then paint with the blood and send those to people. And it's weird. It's like she used to be in Kazakhstan, right? So she was talking about like other things too. Like, she said that, like how if you get like a sprained ankle or something, you get the swelling and all that, you have to take like something, then the swelling will go down or whatever, right? Like in the United States, you could take medicine. She's saying like
an ibuprofen.
Yeah. She's saying if they get like a huge swelling, they'll just like when she was in Florida, I guess early on, she like was chilling with like her whatever, like some fighters from the gym, and she like called like some dude from Kazakhstan that's like some I don't know, like a doctor over there, and they do like bloodletting. So she like cut her ankle to like let all the blood like come out to lower the swelling, because I guess in Kazakhstan they like have no idea, like it's like that's like a smart thing to do. So it's like kind of crazy. Like, and she was saying she didn't know, like she never saw a dishwasher before, she never saw like a washing machine in her whole life. So man, it's crazy. It's like she's here in the United States. It's a big fucking difference, man. Like she had a hard life growing up. I don't think she's really like scared of being in the cage. And Sheena Dobson is the complete opposite, man. It's like she has mental lapses in the cage. She gives up in there on herself. I don't know, man. I just feel like Agapova, obviously on the feet, I think she's a lot better. She's an Olympic alternate for Kazakhstan, and for boxing, she has really nice kicks, like real nice body kicks, real nice head kicks. I feel like Dobson gets hurt to the body in almost every single one of her fights. Dobson does have some good boxing, but it's like she's 3-5 record. I think 1-3 in the UFC, lost 3 in a row. I don't know, man. I mean, I think Agapova is definitely going to win this fight inside the distance. I don't really see many ways Sheena could win here. I mean, I think girls that are going to beat Agapova potentially are wrestlers, like grapplers. I don't think Sheena is going to take her down. If she does, I think Agapova is better on the feet, man. And Yeah, I think she's a beast. I think she's going to be in like the top 5. Even if she lost this fight, like it was like some fluke where she lost, I still think she would be like a top 5, maybe even future champ. So I definitely think she's going to win, man.
Man, just to piggyback, let's talk about this a little bit, though. I mean, when she won that fight, made her UFC debut, she got on that mic and called out Shayna Dobson, the girl who's been on a losing streak in the UFC. We all lost our mind, but I guess it was because they had some personal beef and everything like that already. That was the only reason why she called her out. But Brady, tell these people what is Marina coming in at on her numbers right now, and what did she open up at, and how high is she right now? Because it's so ridiculous.
Agapova is minus 1250, and she opened up at minus 800.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, man, dude, like, I don't know. I mean, it's inside the distance is even minus 335. So it's like she could get the sub or the knockout. Like someone was saying, like Tank was saying, you think it'll be a sub or a KO? I mean, like, look at her last fight. She dropped the girl with the head kick. It just jumped on her back. It subbed her. So it's like she could have finished her with strikes too if she wanted to. You know.
And that was Hannah Cyphers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. Brady, go ahead. I mean, I know there's not going to be a lot to say about this fight, but go ahead and add on to what Guru said, and I'll try to give the people out there some advice on Shayna Dobson.
I mean, Shayna Dobson won me a lot of money her last fight, actually. I was on Priscilla Catch a Beating. I wasn't expecting her to come out there and knock out Shayna Dobson, but she knocked her out in the first round. If you're getting knocked out by Priscilla Catch a Beating,
Yeah, less than a minute.
In less than a minute, you deserve to be a plus 800 underdog. So, it's Agapova all day, minus 1250. You can't do anything with that. If anything, look at the round one prop, the under 1.5 rounds. But I think she gets it done. I don't see a path to victory for Dobson whatsoever. She's not going to take Agapova down. She's not going to be able to stand with her on the feet. I just don't see a path to victory. So I guess the minus 1250 is warranted. You just can't do much with it from a betting perspective.
I mean, and I'm going to piggyback off you, but let's change it up a little bit. I mean, we're talking about a UFC fight here. I mean, it's women's MMA. I mean, anything can happen. I'm talking about Shayna Dobson, former UFC Ultimate Fighter. I won money on her too. UFC 241 versus Savannah Mazo. Savannah Mazo won. I was at the event. Easy money to cash in on Shayna Dobson. I felt bad. I seen her family members sitting like 3 rows in front of me with T-shirts on and stuff. I was just like, oh man, she's about to get murdered. But yeah, folks, I tried, man, but no, I don't think there's any way possible in this fight. And for the people out there that say, yeah, you probably said that same thing against Roxanne Modafferi versus Macy Barber. No, this is a different thing. Shayna Dobson should have been dropped from the UFC. She should have been dropped from the UFC like 3 fights ago. She should have never even been here, folks. So like, oh man, I can't even believe that this fight is on the main card, but it's on the main card for one reason, and that's to show all about Guru's girl on this pick on here, man.
Yeah, you guys think she could make it? If she makes it out of the first round, you could get plus 450 for the finish in the second round. But
I don't know. It's tough.
First round is minus 130. So it's literally they think that it's minus money that Agapova's going to finish her in the first round.
Yeah, I think it's minus 130 in the first round. So
yeah,
I don't know if she can survive.
Yeah, she can last 5 minutes, then you can get plus 450.
Yeah, that's some good value there.
I mean, to be honest, we all know this is a one-sided fight, but this line should not be this high. It should be maybe at a minus 700. You know, like let's take this in consideration. This is Valentina Shevchenko numbers right here, folks. Right? Like this, shouldn't be this high, right?
Well, what do you think? Like, how do you think Shayna could win, though?
Oh man, shit. Oh man, yeah.
That's why. I mean, it's like you can't even think of a way. You can't even think of a way she could win. So, I mean, it's like man, like people are saying. Remember, like he just
Here we go, Guru. I got you. I mean, she fights at Team Elevation. I mean, who has the better fight camp right here? I mean,
I think your fight camp
put together a good game plan.
I still think America Top Team is better.
Fuck, got it on that. See, so yeah, folks. Exactly. The only one way that you could kind of think like, okay, she comes from a good camp, Team Elevation, right? Well, what the hell are they doing with her? But yeah, man. Oh man, it's sad. But yeah, feed her to the
it's
wolves.
like you're saying, it's like Paige people. Remember, people were saying Paige like values on Paige Van Zandt and all that stuff. She got finished in like 2 minutes.
Rivas?
Yeah, and she was like, I don't know, like plus 1,000 or something. I don't even remember.
Yeah.
All right, folks. So I mean, we're moving on along the card now. Moving on to light heavyweight, we got Mike Rodriguez coming in with the record of 10-4 versus Marcin Prachnio with the record of 13-4. Mike Rodriguez inside the UFC, he's won 1 out of his 3 fights, 8 KOs, 2 submissions. Came from the Contender Series, one of the alumni. Lost to Devin Clark. His win over Adam Milstead, I don't rate anything high. Shout out to Adam Milstead, though, one of the first persons to like my Instagram page. But yeah, and then he lost to Davon Young. So that's Mike Rodriguez right there. Brady, how do you see this fight playing out? And go ahead and give these people some odds before we do that, just so if they want to bet any of these fighters, so they know how to bet. So
some odds: Mike Rodriguez is a minus 235 favorite. Marcin Prachnio is plus 195 underdog, and this is an awful fight. 2 guys I'm not really big fans of. Prachnio has been knocked out in 2 of his UFC fights, one by Sam Alvey. I don't think he's fought since like 2018 though, so he's coming off a 2-year layoff. So I'm interested to see him on the scales and what he looks like. But Mike Rodriguez, he is known for busting some parlays. He lost as a minus 400 favorite against John Allen. He lost as like a minus 230 something favorite against another fighter as well. And it's just hard to trust either of these guys. I'm gonna pick Rodriguez. I think he's probably the better fighter, but to go out there and bet Rodriguez at minus 235 is just pretty much insane. Like this guy is not trustworthy. He's not a very good fighter as well. But I don't know. I think he's gonna knock out Prachnio. Prachnio is live for a knockout. We've seen Rodriguez knocked out before. We've seen him rocked. Rodriguez has been finished once by submission, once by KO. Prachnio has been finished 3 times, coming off 2 KO losses in a row. I think Rodriguez is the rightful favorite, but man, it's so tough to go in here and trust Mike Rodriguez in a parlay or something. Like he is crushed. I'm assuming so many parlays. Rodriguez for me. On DraftKings, like Rodriguez, this is a fight you're going to want to target. I think this fight ends fairly quick.
Give him some DraftKings numbers.
I think Rodriguez is like 8,900, but Prachnio has finished 85% of his fights. Rodriguez has finished 100% of his fights. Both these guys have been finished before, so I do see this fight finishing. Maybe take a look at the under 1.5. Prachnio has not been out of the first round in his UFC career, so but overall, I think someone's going to get finished, and I think it's Prachnio.
Yeah, man, I kind of agree. I mean, this fight I'm not going to spend a lot of time on, really. It's like Prachnio, he went in there, he got knocked out twice. He has no composure when he gets hurt, but he's a big guy too. He has decent movement and like good knees. I mean, he could definitely get a knockout too. It's not like you guys said, it's not like you guys can really trust Mike Rodriguez, but
no.
Mike Rodriguez is, at least I think he's the better athlete. He has those long kicks, long punches, good flying knees, stuff like that. I'm going to pick Mike Rodriguez by knockout, but I mean, I think it's like 50-50. I mean, I think Prachnio could win too, but I don't know.
Prachnio lost to Sam Alvey, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then lost to Magmed, right?
But Sam Alvey, man, like Sam Alvey gets shit on, but I think Sam Alvey would beat fucking Mike Rodriguez. I mean, Sam Alvey just almost beat Ryan Spann. He's not like a total bum,
Yeah.
But.
And I'm with you on that one. I'm piggybacking. So like we got Mike Rodriguez coming in at a minus 230 favorite right now. Not a big fan of this guy. He doesn't show too much tenacity in there. But so I mean, this is a fight I'm staying far away from. I do want to see the props when they come out. I have one prop in mind already because I got plus money on it. It's that round 2 starts. I'm talking about 5 minutes, folks. As long as 5 minutes goes by, I can cash in, and I seen it at a plus 130. So I'm just trying to see if that's going to go a little bit higher. If it does, I might just play it. But yeah, this is one of those fights to where you just know this is the type of fights that we got on the card. This is on the main event. This should be, 3rd fight on the prelim to start off at that. So yeah, we're definitely not gonna spend too much time on that. And Braden, you was kind of mad about Mike Rodriguez and the parlays and stuff. Is this something personal? Did you have him in parlays before?
I mean, I had him on DraftKings, and I'll tell you, I had about like 50% of this dude. Okay. He was like 9,300, expecting him to go out there and finish Allen, and Allen pulled the upset. So that's why I'm a little upset. But
I noticed that a little bit. You know, I was like, hey man.
Yeah, got a little beef with Rodriguez. You're right.
But I do think it could be on the main card just because it's like someone's going to get fucked up in the fight. Someone will get finished. But, yeah.
That is true.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Moving on along the card. So, I mean, we're on to the co-main event here. Taking place at light heavyweight. We got OSP 24-14 versus Alonzo Menifield coming in with a 9-1 record. My boy Alonzo Menifield, I'm a fan of this guy. I seen him come up personally off the LFA scene. I've been to one of his fights live before he came into the UFC. So I definitely, after that, he got his call to the Contender Series, and I remember that. Didn't make it in after that. Had to go back to the local scene, fight again. Even fought on Bellator, I believe. Then got called back into the UFC Contender Series, and I guess he showed enough there. But I always knew he would be in the UFC. No matter what, he's just a specimen when you see him. Muay Thai striker, 2-3 in the UFC, wins over Paul Craig and Vince Morea, lost to Devin Clark, as we all seen last time. All right, so when it comes to this fight IQ, D-. Yes, he has knockout power, but he's only been out the first round 3 times. Hasn't really been tested by good competition. I feel a little salty, because I played him last time at a -230 versus Devin Clark. That was one of the only times that I really played heavy favorites like that. And he was the first guy who just ruined my night. So, yeah, man. So I feel a certain way about Alonzo Menifield, but I am a fan of this guy. He's facing OSP on the other side, 10 KOs, 9 subs. But who knows what OSP we're going to get in this fight. Lost to Rossrell, win over Michelle Olajaychuk, I believe. That was a good one. But OSP, his last 4 years, wins 1, lose 1, wins 1, lose 1. So in this one, fight IQ, I give him adequate, C-. So in this fight, I don't really know which way to go because I'm mad about Alonzo from last time. And OSP, to be honest, I usually fade this guy. So how do you guys see this fight playing out in here? And Guru, what's some odds on Alonzo Menifield right now, and what's some odds on OSP?
Menifield, he's -130, and then OSP is +110. But yeah, I mean, looking at the fight, I can't get a good read on this fight either. I mean, I do think that Menifield in the first round, he's probably going to win the first round unless he gets taken down and submitted, but like he only got taken down one time against Devin Clark, who I would say is a better wrestler than OSP, but he did gas out, got held against the cage, controlled, stuff like that. And OSP is obviously way more dangerous, man. I think OSP probably only needs one takedown and it could be over. He could get a submission here. So that's something that's interesting with the fight, but it's like OSP weighed 240 in his last fight. He's coming back down to 205. I didn't think he looked very good versus Ben Rothwell either. He did kind of drop him. It was a controversial fight. Like he lost the whole round, but got 2 knockdowns in 2 rounds. And, you could have given him it because of the knockdown. But, I don't know. I really don't have a good read on this fight. I'm going to say Menifield gets a knockout in the first round. But, I mean, I could see Menifield getting tired and getting taken down and getting submitted. Or, I mean, I could see I think if he takes him down one time, he'll probably submit him. So it's hard to pick, but I'm just going to pick Alonzo first round knockout.
First round knockout coming hot out the press. Brady, how you see this fight coming out? And let the people out there know if you got any plays on this one, because, I mean, you've been cashing in back-to-back events right now. So go ahead. How you see this fight?
Yeah, I actually do have a bet on this fight. I have a bet on Alonzo Menifield at -130. The Clark fight was a big red flag, especially with the cardio of Menifield. But I saw some good things that I liked. Like he stuffed the first 7 takedowns from Devin Clark, and that speaks volume to me. I mean, he got taken down late in the fight, late in the 3rd round. But Clark's a better wrestler than than OSP here. But on the feet, you know, Menifield hits like an absolute truck. I thought he was going to knock out Clark in that first round. He hurt him really bad, hit him right in the eye. I thought he was going to finish the fight there, but he did gas himself out. I did see on Twitter, like, Menifield's looking a little slimmer. He's looking like, you know, maybe he needed that loss to wake up. And, you know, some of these UFC guys, when they get their first loss, like, you know, maybe they needed that, you know, and I think he did need that. And, you know, OSP is like 37, 38. I do think he's on his way out. You know, went up to heavyweight his last fight, looked awful against Ben Rothwell, someone who is definitely towards the end of their career as well. But I like Menifield to win here. He does land more strikes, 3.6 compared to OSP 2.5. And, you know, I see a lot of people saying if OSP takes down Menifield, he's going to sub him. And I think that's true. I just don't see him getting Menifield down. Like, I saw some great takedown defense from Menifield. I was very, very impressed. So I have Menifield to get a knockout probably in the first round. Like I said, I bet the minus 130. I like that play quite a bit. I think OSP is on his way out.
Got it. So that's a nice play right there for you guys. You know, you guys might want to hop on in it. I seen you on my book at a plus 130. Alonzo inside the distance. Mm-hmm. Man, that's the thing, man. He lost for me once, man. But yeah, in this fight, it's just hard to really think OSP is gonna do anything worth, you know, taking him in here. And if you can get plus money on Alonzo Menifield inside the distance, which that's the only way to actually think that he would win the fight, man, we might have to visit that prop on there. So you definitely got Alonzo locked up in your play already. And Guru, what about you? You thinking about playing this in any action?
Nah, man, I don't have a good read on the fight, so I'm just gonna stay away from it. I really don't know who's gonna win.
Got it. Okay. So, I mean, when it's all said and done, I do hope Alonzo Menifield gets the win here, you know, so he definitely should be the better fighter in here. And Brady, you did hit on point. He did look a lot slimmer in his recent Instagram pictures. I've seen that as well. All right. So, man, Guru, main event time. I'm going to go ahead and let you introduce both these fighters right here. I mean, 5 rounds right here. Go ahead and take it away on this main event. We made it through the whole card right now.
Yeah, man. It's an interesting fight. Frankie Edgar, Pedro Munhoz. You got Frankie Edgar coming in plus 215. So over 2-1 underdog. Munhoz minus 255. And, man, it's interesting, you know, Frankie Edgar making the drop down to 135 for the first time in his career. And if you would have told me that, you know, like 4 or 5 years ago, I would say, you know, like, fuck yeah, like he's a small guy. He should go down. He should fight these little guys, you know, and fight people his size. But at 38 years old to be going down there, I don't know. That's kind of a red flag to me a little bit. I do think that, you know, he has been planning it. So it's not like he, you know, has, I don't know. I mean, his coach thought he could make it. So maybe he will look really good. Maybe he'll be great on the scales and be way bigger than Pedro or the same size and could really help him. But I mean, if you watch his recent fights, his durability just looks kind of, you know, like it's gone a little bit. Like I mean, it's hard to say with the Ortega fight. He did get hit with a huge elbow that rocked him, then that uppercut. But Korean Zombie hit him with a real short left hook, hurt him. And then he took a lot of damage, man, in that fight. I mean, he got hit with a lot of ground and pound. He got back up, basically got knocked out. But I mean, I do think Frankie obviously is a beast, man. I mean, real good boxing, good in and out movement. And I think he's going to try to kind of do what John Dodson did as a game plan, because it's hard to take down a guy like Pedro, man. I mean, Aljo Sterling took him down 0 times. Brian Caraway couldn't take him down. I mean, there's a lot of grapplers. Brett Johns couldn't take him down. So, I mean, Frankie, it's hard to shoot in on him because he has that guillotine, man. It kind of negates a lot of it. And he's hard to hold down, too, if you do take him down. So I don't think Frankie's just going to just take him down and hold him down or control him. So I feel like he's going to try to do like a John Dodson strategy on the feet, like trying to just get in, get out, land, move. But he's not a runner really like Johnson, man. I mean, he tries to, you know, dart in, dart out. And I think Pedro is just going to win, man. Pedro, he's never been 5 rounds, but his style, I think, is good for 5 rounds. He gets better as the fight goes on. He has great cardio, great chin. Really, I mean, he's a dangerous guy to bet on, I guess, because he really relies on his chin, man. I mean, like, he has a lot of faith in it, eats clean bombs in every fight, and eventually he's going to get knocked out probably. But right now, I mean, his durability is some of the best in the division. and he hits super hard too, man. I mean, one punch knockout power. We've seen him get knockouts against Cody Garbrandt, and I just feel like Frankie has to be perfect for 5 rounds. I don't think he's going to finish a guy like Pedro, and I don't know. I don't see it, man. I just think Pedro's going to be walking him down, and I think he's going to catch him with like a short hook or something, hurt him, and either get a jump on the neck, get a submission, or more than likely get a TKO finish. But I don't know, man. I just can't see Frankie going 5 rounds, 135 for the first time in his career. I don't know. A lot of variables here I just don't like for Frankie.
Got it. Hey, Guru, so do you think he's warranted that price tag? Minus 240 right now on the books?
I don't know. Maybe it's a little bit wide. I wouldn't play that number like straight, but I mean, I think for Munoz to win inside the distance minus 125, I mean, I think that's a good number, man. It's almost even money, and he has 5 rounds to finish Frankie, so I think he's going to win.
Got it. Guru, what about this fight right here? How do you see some odds coming in on the Hall of Famer Frankie Edgar? Is there any ways that people should play this, or what do you got to say about this fight right here?
I mean, Frankie by decision maybe, but it's like, I don't know. I couldn't lay money on that. If you think Frankie's going to win, I think it's going to be a decision. I would be real surprised if he finished Munoz, and him by decision is plus 500. So,
all right. Hey, Brady down there, is those good enough numbers to make you jump on the Hall of Famer making his debut?
No, I mean, Guru broke it down perfectly. I do think that Edgar is definitely on his way out. 38 years old, definitely, towards the end of his career. And, I like Munoz quite a bit. I think he's a very good fighter. He does land more 5.29 significant strikes per minute compared to Edgar's 3.6. And he has like about an 80% takedown defense as well. Very good get-up game. I think that if Edgar does take him down, I think he'll have no problem getting back up. And he does have that threat of the guillotine as well. So will Edgar, even try to shoot for takedowns, So I think Munoz is going to win. If I was to bet it, I don't know. I think Edgar is durable, but I think that durability is kind of, going away. He has been finished twice in about 33, 32 fights. So I don't know. I'm probably going to take a look at the Munoz inside the distance at minus 125. But the line, what it's currently at, I think that's a little bit too wide to play straight. Maybe it's parlayable, but, I am going to look at that minus 125 inside the distance for Munoz.
Got it. Yeah, I mean, on this one, so, I mean, Pedro Munhoz definitely, he's in the prime of his career right now. Orthodox striker. He can win by any way. 4 KOs, 9 submissions, 5 decisions, 5.29 significant strikes per minute, 81% takedown defense. Brady, I know you love those numbers.
I do.
Edgar on the other side, he averages 3.6 strikes per minute, 2.34 takedowns, orthodox striker, 7 KOs, 4 submissions, 12 decisions. But this is a move that he should have made about 3 years ago. So when it came down to it, I have Pedro Munhoz in a parlay. He's the last leg of my parlay. I took the Portland Trailblazers versus the Lakers at plus 8 points. So either way I go, I've already cashed in one leg on that. I just need Pedro Munhoz to come here and lock it up. So I did have to pay it at minus 240, but I got it parlayed. But to me, this is one of those fights to where, I would feel comfortable if he was at a minus 200, minus 190. I wouldn't have any problem with it. Of course, over 200, I do, I am a little cautious about it. But when it comes down to it, this is one of the most confident picks on the card for me. How do you guys feel about that? Like, at all? I mean, of course, we all know, the Dobson fight, that's a wrap. But let's scratch that off the card. Is this one of the more confident picks for you guys on the card? Munoz over Edgar?
Yeah, in my opinion, I have to say yes just because of the card. I mean, it's because a lot of the fights are, like we said, newcomers, people that we haven't really seen in the UFC. So it's hard to be super confident in a lot of those guys. He is the second biggest underdog on the card. Yeah, I mean, for this card, yeah, but it's hard to just completely write off a guy that's a former champ like Frankie Edgar, man. So
Agree.
Yeah.
Hall of Fame name like that. I mean, fighters fight to their 40 and still get wins, and we've seen it all again, especially when they go to different weight classes like Randy Couture and list goes on. But, I mean, yeah. So, I mean, Edgar can do something maybe, but I doubt it. Like I said, to me, this is one of those most confident picks to where, you predict on the card and you just wait for the main event to finish out your night, cash in your parlay, nothing to really worry about. What about some props on this fight? Because I know a lot of people think it's not going to go the distance because it's 25 minutes. Me, myself, already got a prop locked in, so I just want to see what your guys' take on the fight playing out. Because I know we all agree it's not going to go 25 minutes, right? But, Brady, do you think Edgar is tough enough and strong enough to last 10 minutes of the fight?
I mean, I want to say he is, but that durability, I just don't think is all the way there right now. So Munoz does hit really hard. So I think it would be a tough bet to, think that Edgar could last 25 minutes, 20 minutes. But, maybe he can last 10 minutes. I think, in general, he's durable, but I just don't know where he's at this point of his career.
Yeah, man. I mean, his last fight, he couldn't last 5 minutes. So, but. I mean, that was against Korean Zombie, but, I mean, I don't know. Who knows how he'd be at 135 either. I mean, he could, have even worse chin at 135.
Yeah, I want to see him on the scales, too.
Got it. Because there's a prop out there I'm looking at and I'm liking. It's that round 2 starts, and I can lock it up at a minus 180. So, I usually feel confident that, round 3 of starts. Sorry about that, folks. It's that round 3 of starts at minus 180. So that's my whole thing. Usually it's like if a fighter can last 10 minutes, I think Edgar can put up a beating for 10 minutes in this fight, not going the whole distance, but I think he might be able to last 10 minutes.
The thing with Frankie that I don't like about, if I would do a bet like that, man, is he gets hurt in the first round all the time. Like, that's usually when he gets hurt is the first round, and then he'll recover and, either last but recently he's been getting finished, like Ortega finished him in the first round and so did Zombie. But, I mean, he gets hurt in the first round in a lot of his fights, man.
Yeah, that never know. But yeah, that's how it goes. So I mean, this is the main card right here. That's all the fights on there. We went over 11 fights on there. Had a lot of them that was canceled on there. One that I was betting heavy. Man, I'm gonna tell you guys right now. Angela Hill versus Michelle Waterson. Man, I already had Angela Hill at minus 130. I felt so confident in that bet, man. I wish that fight would have played out on this card, because now I think when it gets played out, I think it's coming out in September, I think that line's going to change. But how do you guys feel, man? Because, I feel like this fight card would have been a banger. Uriah Hall versus Yoel Romero. We had some fights on there, but a lot of fights got canceled. How you guys feel about the card?
Yeah, what do you think about Uriah? He's fighting Anderson Silva now.
I feel bad for Silva.
Yeah, man.
How old is he now?
45 or something.
That is insane. That is crazy.
But I mean, it's he fought Cannonier his last fight, so it is a big drop down, I would say, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, on that, I think Silva was asking for a super fight. Silva was mad that the UFC turned down him versus Conor. Then they turned down him versus Showtime. And the next, they come out with this fight. That's not a super fight, but this is just a bad way to get to end your career, I think.
They set it up before this fight, though. So, I mean, I don't know if Anderson likes the fight, but maybe, the UFC likes it. I don't know. But they said it's his last fight. I mean, I wouldn't be I think the line will probably be close. I don't think, Uriah is, overwhelming favorite or anything, but it's hard to pick Anderson, obviously.
Well, if you guys remember right, man, when Uriah Hall came out, everybody was comparing him to the Anderson Silva. That's what they were trying to, make him the next protege of. So, I mean, now it's that fight's finally about to play out. So, it's one of those, because I remember that tough when he came out of Ultimate Fighter. That was the guy that they tried to match him up against and protege him and stuff. But, yeah, guys, I mean, that's UFC 7, I believe, ESPN in the card right there, folks. I mean, there's not a lot of ways to bet this card. So, I mean, you guys definitely got to tune into the show on Saturday and see maybe about some live bets, because it's hard to get strong reads on any of these fights that just happen out of nowhere. So, yeah, let's go over some plays real quick on the main card that we do got locked up and do a recap. Brady, can you go over the fights on the main card, who we got, and any plays you got?
Yeah, Agapova, maybe looking at that first round prop, or even the under 1.5 rounds for that fight is minus 160. I think there's some value there. My only bet so far is Menifield at minus 130. but I'll probably end up, playing at Munoz inside the distance at like, what is it, minus 130, I think so. Other than that, I have Rodriguez. Maybe take a look at the under 1.5 in that. And what was the other fight on there? I think we touched on all of them. But, yeah, it's a good card. Really looking forward to it. It's always an opportunity to make money. I feel like there wasn't many spots last week, and we were able to still be successful. So same here. Not many spots, but we're gonna pick them, and we're gonna make some money again.
And you got Alonzo Menifield, right?
Yeah, I got Menifield.
Okay, so that Guru, what about you on this main card? You got any plays on here that you want to go over?
Right now, the only bet that I have is Sato at plus 160, but I do think, like he was saying, minus 125 for Rodriguez Prachnio under 1.5 rounds is. I might play that, and then I might play the Munoz minus 125 that I said earlier as well.
Nice. That's to give a little recap on there. So, yeah, folks, definitely a hard card to cap here. So, but there's ways to make money on here, Let's go through the chat real quick, Brady. Give some people some shots out in the chat. Let them know we appreciate everybody for rocking with us.
Yeah, thank you guys for hanging out. We got a big show in here. We got Boston Nick, Sosa, Jacksonville Zoe, the Hitman, Kane, James, Rob, Gas, Marcaval. Thank you all for hanging out. We had a good amount of people in here. Tune in for next week. We're going to keep doing this and keep making you guys some money.
Yes, sir.
And we want to do a special shout out to Boston Nick out there. They definitely got their show coming up on Fridays, the after weigh-in shows, and Mo Scream TV out there. You definitely got to check him out as well. And Clint, Die Hard MMA podcast, Just Bleed MMA, everybody out there in the MMA community right here on Odds. And of course, definitely got to give a shout out to the bosses of all bosses, like Mo likes to say, and that's Cynthia. So everybody in the chat, if you guys can give Cynthia some thumbs up, some pieces, everything like that, give her some love for putting this together.
Yes, sir. Thanks, guys. All right, we're out. Peace.
Guys.